yesterday we talked a little bit about something called a survey, and we talked about tally marks and different types of graphing and data. So what I want you guys to do, yes, Connor? Yeah, there are some tally marks. Very good point. So these right here, these are tally marks, just like we were doing yesterday on our surveys. These are class point tally marks. So we keep track of them, just as we did on our thing. Yeah, we have our tally marks right here. Those are our class points. And these are our table points. These are all tally marks. So they're keeping information so we know how many points each table has and each class has. So yesterday we talked about surveys. We talked about all this stuff about graphing. So what I want everyone to do is when I say so, I want you to put your pencils down if they're up. Go ahead, put your pencils down. And I want you to turn to your whole table. So this table right here, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I want you to talk to your table. And I want you to talk quietly about something that you learned yesterday. And then I'm going to give you a couple seconds to do that. And then I'm going to call on the table captain to tell me what the group talked about. Sound good? All right, so go ahead and talk to your table groups and see what you can come up with. Thank you. Okay, so let's start with table 1 over here. Can the table captain tell us what you talked about?
We said data and graphing.
Awesome. We talked about data and graphing. Do you remember what data is? Dylan, do you remember? Perfect. It's information. How about table number 2? So back to table number 2. Can the table captain tell us what you talked about?
Graphing and the survey.
Awesome. Very good. How about table number 3 up here? Alec, can you pay attention, please? Thank you. Table number 3. Can you guys tell me what you talked about? The table captain. We did. Did we talk about anything else? What did we count yesterday? We did. We counted with tally marks, but what kind of, yes, we counted beans. All right, back table, number 4. Yeah, we did learn about tally marks. All right, right here, table number 5.
We learned about graphing and tally marks.
Very good. How about this back table, last one?
We learned about different things.
Yeah, we did. So we learned a lot about tally marks. And today we're going to learn what we're going to do with those tally marks after we put them on the table. Which is why each of you got your pink sheets back from yesterday. Each of you got your tally marks back. We're going to be using that today to put on a graph. But before we do that, I want to talk about, I want everyone to think about in their heads, quietly for a few seconds, why we may want to put information on a graph. Why do we think graphs are useful? What do we use them for? Rachel, please keep quiet. Everyone think in their head for a second, why do we use graphs? Why would we want to take information like the tally marks that we had on our pink sheet, and why would we want to put them on a graph? Brielle?
We'll put on a graph to keep count.
To keep count. Very good. So it helps us keep count. What's the word I used yesterday that starts with an O? Starts with an O, and it helps keep things in order. Does anyone know? We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Jacob?
Organize.
Organize. Awesome. So it helps to keep count and keep things organized. Does anyone have any other ideas? Phoenix?
And to keep your information safe.
Yeah, to keep your information safe. That's a really good one. Sadrina, last one.
About keep track.
Keep track. Very good. All right, so today we're going to be learning a little bit about bar graphs, which I know the class did at the beginning of the year. Does anyone remember what we kept track of? Or what Mrs. Wright helped you keep track of? Adam?
Our birthdays.
Your birthdays. All right, so we can use bar graphs with anything we want to. We can put any type of information on a bar graph that we want to. And this may be kind of hard to see, but if you could look up here on this poster, it's the word bar graph, so that's how you spell bar graph. And bar graphs use bars to show data or information. So another way of saying that is these bar graphs are where we keep track of our tally marks, but just in a little bit of a different way. And we can do them 2 different ways. And I actually took an example from your workbook, and I used it and I put it on here. So you can do one that's going this way. Does anyone know what this display is called? Starts with an H. We talked about it. It looks a little bit like a horizon. Mariah? You know what the word is? Huh?
Horizon.
Sounds like horizon. Does anyone know when you have something that looks like this? So when something's like this, what is the word that we use? Camden?
Horizontal.
Horizontal. Awesome. What about when something's up and down like this? It starts with a V. Does anyone remember the word? Izzy? Vertical. Awesome. So you can have horizontal bar graphs or you can have vertical bar graphs. So the first thing that we do whenever we have a graph, just like we did with our tables, is we put something right here. Starts with a T. Can everyone say it out loud?
Title.
Title. Very good. So you put a title. So this one's from your book, and it's about favorite breakfast foods. So what happened is they took a survey, just like we did yesterday with the beans. They took a survey of different types of breakfast foods that people like. So they have toast, cereal, and eggs. So toast got 4 tally marks. So 4 people voted for it. So they filled in 4 boxes. Cereal got 5 tally marks. So 5 kids like to have cereal for breakfast. So they filled in 5 little rectangular boxes. And then eggs only got 2 votes. And I'm not a big fan of eggs, but some people really like eggs. But eggs only got 2 votes, so they filled in 2 boxes. And then right here on the side, they wrote foods. Can anyone maybe think about why they wrote foods over here? Anyone know? Connor?
Because it's a title.
Yeah, it's kind of like a title. It also starts, what's another word that we talked about that starts with an L? Another word that we talked about starts with an L. Adam?
Label.
Label, very good. So this is a label. So how we talked about with nonfiction text features, how we label something when we don't know what it is. Right here they labeled foods, and this is because we want to know what these are. If we just put toast, cereal, and eggs, we can tell that they're food, but we wouldn't really know what we're looking at. So we want to put a label here so we know what we're looking at. And on the bottom, they wrote the different numbers of how many different rectangles there were, so you know what to fill out when you're doing it. And over here they did the exact same thing, except it's horizontal. Or sorry, it's vertical. So they filled in 1, 2, 3, 4 tally marks for toast, 5 tally marks for cereal, and 2 tally marks for eggs. So they just filled in a little rectangular boxes. So today we're going to be doing something a lot like this, but we're going to do it with the information from the pink sheet that you filled out yesterday with the beans. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how we're going to do this. First, I'm going to do an example with the information I got yesterday. So, each person, if you look on your desk, each person has one of these. We're not going to be using them yet. You're just going to watch me do it first, and then you're going to do it yourself. So go ahead and put your pencils down. So, I actually did not leave a place for my name on here. But remember, you always want to put your name first. So I'm going to put my name at the top, so everyone has that. I'll show you in just a second. Alright, just like that. Miss Edwards, right at the top. And the first thing we always do as well is put a title. So we don't want to just have a graph on our paper without a title, because then no one will know what it is. So let's see, I'm just going to title mine, Bean Bar Graph. Because we used beans, we counted beans yesterday, and we're making a bar graph. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to title Bean Bar Graph. And then what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to make a vertical bar graph. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to look at the different types of beans that I have, and I'm going to label them first. So I have my white beans, my black beans, and my red beans. So I'm going to come back here, and right here I'm going to write it this way because it's kind of tiny. I'm going to put white bean there, just like that. I'm going to put black bean here, and then I'm going to put red bean here. So these are the different types of beans. And now, when you put numbers on a graph, this can be kind of confusing. So everyone go ahead and pay attention. So this is going to start with 0 down here. 0 at the very, very bottom, because when you have nothing, you have 0, right? And then you're going to go up to the next line, and you're going to put a 1, because you have to go all the way from 0 to 1 to get to 1. And then you're going to go up to the next line, and you're going to label 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, if I were to fill up all the way to the top line, all the way up here, how many beans would I be saying that I had? Go ahead and say it out loud.
6.
Very good. What if I went here?
5.
4. Right where the 4 is, right there. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my crayons, and you can choose any different color that you want, but I chose orange, red, and blue. But you can choose colors that you want. I know you all have crayons at your desk, but these are just the colors I chose. So I'm going to go back here, I'm going to look at my chart, I'm going to be like, oh, so I counted 6 white beans total. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to fill all the way up to 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 white beans, just like that. I'm going to go back to my chart after it, and I'm going to look. Oh, so I have 5 black beans next. So I'm going to come back here, I'm going to do 5. It's actually the same color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I accidentally grabbed 2 crowns that kind of look like the same color, so you may not want to do that. I grabbed orange and red, so try not to grab orange, red, or orange and yellow, because they may look very similar. And then I look, so I have red beans left. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to look, and it says I counted 3 red beans. So I'm going to go back over here, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, just like that. But, oh, I forgot to do one thing. Can anyone tell me, maybe take a guess at one thing I forgot to do? One thing. This one's kind of tricky. We talked about it just a couple minutes ago. Ireland, do you know? Are you raising your hand or are you just stretching? Just stretching? Rachel S?
The label.
Perfect, the label, very good. So I'm going to come down here, I'm going to write my label down here. And for my label, I'm going to write different types of beans. So that's going to be my label, right down there. So can everyone give me a thumbs up if they understand what we're doing? Yeah? Alright, so at each of your tables, you have your pink sheet, and then you have your white sheet that's empty. It looks a lot like this. And then you also have a green sheet. So what I want you to do is when I say go, not yet, but when I say go, yes. Yes, for Rachel S. and Steve, who weren't here yesterday, I'm going to talk to you guys in private, okay? So we can figure something out. Because I know you don't have the information from yesterday. So, each of you is going to take this, and you're going to fill out your bar graph. I want you to make sure you label it, put the numbers with the information you had yesterday on your pink sheet. And then, each of you has a green sheet of questions. And I'm going to say the questions out loud right now so you know what they're asking. And they're super simple, but they're just asking you to take a look at your graph and see what you know. So the first question is asking you which color bean has the most beans. The second one is which color bean has the least number of beans. How many more white beans are there than red beans? How many total beans can you count? And number 5, if 5 more red beans were added, how many beans would you have?